Let's get right into it. Mercury, a planet that never agreed to life. Mercury is not hostile. Hostility implies intent. Mercury simply never signed the paperwork that makes survival possible. There is no real atmosphere here. No sky, no pressure, no buffer between you and space. What exists instead is an exosphere. Atoms drifting around like abandoned furniture in a storage unit the universe forgot about. Standing on Mercury is functionally identical to standing in a vacuum, except the sun is close enough to feel personal. A single solar day on Mercury lasts 176 Earth days. For weeks, one side of the planet is welded to sunlight, absorbing radiation like a slab of black iron. Temperatures climb past 430 degrees Celsius, hot enough to destroy proteins, hot enough to make cells lose the concept of structure. Your sweat wouldn't cool you. It would flash into vapor before it finished forming. Blood vessels would dilate in a last-ditch effort to dump heat into an environment that refuses to accept it. Enzymes unravel. Organs fail not because they burn, but because the chemistry holding them together stops cooperating. Then there's the night side. With no atmosphere to trap heat, Mercury radiates warmth directly into space. Temperatures collapse to below negative 180 degrees Celsius. Blood thickens. Ice crystals form inside cells, puncturing membranes from the inside. Nerve impulses slow, then vanish. Movement becomes impossible long before awareness does. Above all of this is radiation. Mercury's magnetic field is weak, like a security system installed for insurance purposes only. Solar wind and cosmic rays slam directly into your body. DNA strands snap. Cells accumulate damage faster than repair mechanisms can even attempt to respond. Mercury doesn't explode you, crush you, or poison you. It simply refuses to participate. Life isn't punished here. It's ignored. Venus, when the air itself is the executioner. Venus looks calm from a distance. Pale clouds, smooth curves, a planet that appears to be minding its own business. That's the lie. Venus has an atmosphere so thick and so compressed that it behaves less like air and more like a physical object pressing down on you with intent. Surface pressure exceeds 90 times that of Earth, roughly what you would experience a kilometer underwater, except the water is superheated carbon dioxide. Your lungs cannot expand. Breathing becomes mechanically impossible. It's like trying to inhale while someone is sitting on your chest, except the person is the planet. Then comes the heat. 460 degrees Celsius, hotter than Mercury, not because Venus is closer to the sun, but because it traps heat and never lets it go. A runaway greenhouse effect so effective, the planet turned itself into a sealed oven with no off switch. This is not burning. This is baking. Even heat, everywhere, all the time. Enzymes denature, proteins lose their shape, cell membranes collapse like overcooked pasta. There is no shade, no night, no place where physics eases up. Above you, sulfuric acid clouds chum endlessly. Acid rain forms, then evaporates before it can reach the surface because the surface refuses to tolerate liquid anything. Lightning flashes through corrosive skies. The ground itself is volcanic, reshaped repeatedly by lava flows that erase impact craters like Venus keeps editing its own history. You don't explode. The pressure prevents that. You remain intact long enough to understand that every survival system you have has failed simultaneously. On Venus, nothing breaks. Everything works exactly as designed. Mars, the planet that gaslights you to death. Mars looks survivable. That's the problem. The sky exists, the ground is solid, the day is almost the right length. It feels like a place that forgot to finish becoming Earth. But Mars' atmosphere is less than 1% as dense as ours, and it makes no effort to hide that fact. Step outside without protection, and the oxygen dissolved in your body begins to boil at body temperature. This process, called ebullition, causes moisture in your eyes to vaporize. Saliva foams, your lungs move air, but there's nothing useful in it. Breathing becomes a ritual without function. You lose consciousness in seconds. The cold arrives next. Average temperatures hover around negative 60 degrees Celsius, with violent swings depending on location and season. Heat drains out of you faster than metabolism can replace it. Mars offers no insulation, no warmth, no forgiveness. Radiation finishes the long game. Mars has no global magnetic field, so solar particles and cosmic rays strike the surface directly. DNA damage accumulates, cells degrade, the planet slowly dismantles anything biological that dares to stay. Dust storms can engulf the entire world, blocking sunlight for months, lowering temperatures further and turning the surface into a freezing, irradiated desert. Mars doesn't kill dramatically. It lets your body discover, politely, efficiently, that the environment never planned on supporting you. Jupiter, falling until the question stops making sense. Jupiter does not have a surface. That's not a metaphor. That's a warning. If you enter Jupiter, you fall. There is no landing, no impact, just atmosphere growing denser, louder, and angrier the deeper you go. Winds scream past at over 600 kilometers per hour. Storms larger than Earth churn endlessly. Lightning flashes through clouds thick enough to swallow continents. Pressure rises fast, lungs collapse, blood vessels rupture, bones crack under compression. Gravity keeps pulling you down anyway, like it's personally invested in your continued descent. Deeper inside, hydrogen gas compresses into liquid, then into metallic hydrogen. Matter behaving like something pulled from a physics textbook written by someone who hated optimism. Temperatures rise beyond anything organic molecules can tolerate. Chemical bonds break apart, structure becomes irrelevant. There is no moment where you can say, "This is where I died." There is only falling, and then a point where the question no longer applies. Jupiter doesn't end your life, it erases the concepts. Saturn, death by mechanical disagreement. Saturn looks gentle, pastel colors, elegant rings, the planet equivalent of soft-spoken betrayal. Like Jupiter, Saturn has no solid surface, but Saturn introduces something more personal. Shear. As you descend, different layers of atmosphere move at different speeds and densities, pulling your body in conflicting directions. This is not crushing, this is stretching. Organs shift, blood vessels tear internally, tissue experiences competing forces no anatomy was designed to negotiate. You're being twisted, compressed, and destabilized simultaneously. Pressure increases, heat follows, hydrogen and helium dominate the environment, offering no oxygen and no stability. Your body doesn't fail all at once. It fails in arguments, one system pulling against another until nothing agrees anymore. Saturn doesn't overwhelm you. It disagrees with your shape until you stop being one. Uranus, the cosmic freezer that never raises its voice. Uranus is the coldest planet in the solar system, and it makes no effort to dramatize that fact. Temperatures drop below negative 220 degrees Celsius. That's not very cold. That's molecules stop behaving politely cold. The atmosphere is hydrogen, helium, and methane. No oxygen, no warmth, no chemical pathways that care whether you exist or not. Winds reach nearly 900 kilometers per hour, dragging frozen methane clouds across the sky like shredded curtains. The planet rotates on its side, producing decades-long seasons of light and darkness. Entire hemispheres are abandoned to shadow while others bake under distant sunlight that barely warms anything. Exposure here doesn't feel violent, it feels quiet. Frostbite happens instantly, nerves shut down before they can scream. Circulation fails as blood thickens and freezes inside vessels. Your body loses energy faster than metabolism can pretend to compensate. Uranus doesn't rage or crush. It removes heat, motion, and resistance until there's nothing left to argue with. Neptune, a planet built entirely out of bad weather. Neptune is what happens when weather becomes the dominant personality trait of a planet. Winds here exceed 2,000 kilometers per hour, faster than the speed of sound, faster than orientation, faster than panic. The atmosphere is chaotic, violent, and permanently unstable. Temperatures are brutally cold. Pressure rises rapidly with depth. There is no calm layer, no eye of the storm, No place where forces briefly agree to stop trying to tear things apart. Your body would be flung, frozen, compressed, and shredded almost simultaneously. Tissue experiences stresses it cannot interpret. Bones fail under forces that don't care which direction you're facing. Awareness has no time to assemble into fear. Neptune doesn't hunt you. It doesn't notice you long enough to even care.